What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Vontae the First, back again with another reaction to My Hero Academia. This is chapter 427. We only have, after this chapter, we only have like, what, 3 left? So we're going to be ending it off on 430 because we got, it was last week. I already said it last week. But recently we had got some news that there's only 5 chapters left in this series. So we're going to finish up the epilogue and whatnot. Last chapter, personally, for me, it was one of my favorite chapters in a minute. Well, not in a minute. Like, it's been a lot of chapters in the final arc that I really like. But, like, in terms of the whole series, it's one of those kind of chapters for me personally. I love the conclusion for the Todoroki family. I like that they got to talk to Dabi. He's all fucked up in that big-ass container shit. Endeavor says that's home for his sins. You know, Natsuo still doesn't, forgive him or nothing like that. He doesn't want nothing to do with him in his life and whatnot. And just seeing how all this shit affected the whole Todoroki family of what Endeavor wanted to do with his children, and then how that backfired, and look where it's at now, you know. But I really appreciate that the writing in the last chapter, and I'm glad that we concluded it in that way. Even with Dabi and Shoto both, liking the same food and shit, that's just dope, and they would never have known or whatever, because of their situations. But look how shit goes. That's kind of a good message to people in real life. Sometimes you got to talk to people before it's too late. Them kind of situations. Of course, not a situation like this, but if you have any beef with somebody that you shouldn't have beef with, like a family or friend or whatever, make sure that you fix that up so that stuff like this doesn't get to stuff like this. But with that being said, let's just hop into this chapter, man. I see already the first page. It says, Chapter 427, who was Tomura Shigaraki? Who are they asking? Because we did, I think we did see Spinner at the end of the chapter, so I'm assuming Deku's going to tell him about what Shigaraki told him as his last words and whatnot. But look how we're interviewing random people, huh? Company employee 35. He was scary as hell. I'm so glad he got taken out. As seen on TV. So yeah, he was interviewing people on TV. Student 21, one of our friends died. He's the worst, a killer. He destroyed my house. It's unbelievable how he screwed things up. Housewife, 70 years old. Is that the same lady that him and his backstory? Maybe he was unable to stop. That's what I think. Or maybe it's just another old lady. Restaurant owner, 30. At first, we all thought he was just a random thug. No one could imagine he'd become such a threat. Yeah? I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like, not only did you guys neglect, people neglect these kids and then they end up going down the wrong path, but like also, you can't also just be like, oh, I thought it was just some random ass stuff. You don't know what, like, you don't underestimate people. That's another message you can get from this. And also don't ignore, don't neglect, and don't underestimate, because then it's going to bite you in the ass. All right, what horror coach you got? This author notes, YouTube is only recommending me horror videos as of late. Good vibes. And Gege, that's his shit. I wonder if he is gonna start that manga, that horror manga, because he's a big fan of that. That's funny. I'm about to screenshot that and send it to somebody. Reconstruction is going smoothly thanks to international support and all the volunteer work. However, there are still some areas that restoration efforts haven't quite reached. All this wreckage shows just how far the destruction managed to spread. And there goes Spinner, and there goes Deku. Okay, Spinner, okay, he's back to normal. This unprecedented act of terrorism that hurt so many people was organized by the League of Villains. Just who was their leader, Tomura Shigaraki. Stay tuned for the second part of our special feature. Body bulk, scale mill, he couldn't take all these quirks and started turning into a Nomu. Okay, so the doctor talking about all the shit that he had, that Spinner had. But thanks to the research on Nomus we were conducting at this hospital, and to the fact that his transformation still wasn't too far gone, we managed to stop the process. All right. Why are you even here, you murderer? Nigga. I won't deny that, but I came to tell you, yeah, why are you trying to guilt the boy? I mean, I know he killed your boy, but like, nigga, y'all murderers too. Come on, man. But yeah, Deku said, I don't deny it though. I killed a nigga. But I came to tell you Shigaraki's dying words. So you're gonna keep shooting a dead body? How nasty. If Spinner survived this, tell him you survived, so I gotta tell you. Even to the bitter end, Tomura Shigaraki kept fighting to destroy. Think about the words. He said, huh? Shigaraki asked you to tell me this? You sure? Yeah, he said Spinner. Me? How about Toga or Dabi? Hell, even Compress. No, just you. I love these panels. I always love panels where you're showing like both characters' side profiles while they're looking at each other having a conversation. It's probably one of my favorite, especially when you like show three different, you know, going from like the top panel to the middle section to the bottom. Probably one of my favorite things when it comes to manga, when it comes to conversations. I always like it like this. Pause. I don't know, that sounds crazy. That's why I said pause. Anyway, no, just you. Shigaraki was my ray of hope. He smiled and said, "Let's destroy everything." Back in DEKU, he showed me a distorted horizon. He's always been my spokesperson. When people oppressed me for who I am, I thought, well, I'm a heteromorph, and gave up. Stop. I said I'd stop thinking. If I think it will end up hurt. He going through that shit in his brain. He allowed even a guy like me to dream. I felt like something big was about to happen, like I could finally become someone. Easy now. We'll have to, tranquilize him. And Deku said, stop. Oh, he grabbed that. Ooh, that panel, bro. Like, I noticed, it seems like throughout the series, like, I don't know, like, obviously Horikoshi has a lot of Western, like, comic influence, like with Marvel and DC. But like, the more and more that I be looking at art over time, over the years and whatnot, he really honed in on that, like, Western back. I don't know, it just reminds me of, like, a, like Venom or something. Like, this panel reminds me of Venom, or somebody just big, diesel, nasty, you know what I'm saying? And grabbing like Hulk, for example. But Tomura Shigaraki was my hero. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, didn't translate the name. It seems like he wanted to destroy. That's all there is to say. No doubts, no ideals, nothing. He was simply throwing a tantrum. He loved video games. As the police keep crying, I said keep crying because he's crying. But as the police keep researching, we're finally unraveling his tragic past. Understanding that cause is important, but we can't let ourselves empathize with him. If someone gets influenced by all of this, it will happen again and again. During my shut-in days, I played video games nonstop. And then I found out he liked pretty much the same ones as me. They talked about League of Legends before. We need to call things what they are. He was a monster. And then all the public, how they view him versus how Spinner views him. He was the first friend I ever had. I heard him saying the villains need a hero of their own. Right in the middle of Shigaraki's heart, there was the League. I'm sure he thought the same things about you. That's why he asked me to send you this message. I was blind from the spotlight. I told myself I couldn't stop what was happening and decided I ceased to exist. I'm always noticing things when it's already too late. If I'd taken just one more step, then maybe I could have saved my hero, my friend. Damn, he's only thinking about like back in the cave when he was going through it, all the mutations of his body, all the fingers growing and all that, and the hair. Bear in mind that another Shigaraki / All For One could be hiding from us as we speak. We have to keep an eye on the next big threat. You people will keep fighting, right? You'll eventually forget Tomura Shigaraki, forget the League of Villains, and go back to smiling. I'll write a book about the symbol of fear called Tomura Shigaraki, and about how the League of Villains live to destroy it. I'll forever be thrust upon you all. The past never dies. I'll spread the gospel of Tomura Shigaraki. Wow. You should make it a comic, huh? You don't need to worry. I'll never forget him. I kind of like that. Literally, he said, have a message too. Tell that octopus to do his best. Tell that octopus to do his best. Who is he talking about? Shoji. At first, I was like, you're not talking about Sun Eater. He had no interaction with Sun Eater. Talking about Shoji, my boy Shoji. Do his best, huh? I like this, man. Once again, like, I love how Horikoshi is doing this, how he's approaching this, because, like, people are taking responsibility over the actions that they have, you know, like, whether they've killed somebody or whatever. I like that he's making everybody still also have their own philosophy and live their way of life. You know, like with Spinner trying to make this book, just talking about how the League of Villains, you know, that was his family and how he's going to keep spreading the word. And it's realistic, though. It's like, it's not just going to stop here. You defeated the Demon Lord, the two, you know, worst villains of all time. And then all of a sudden, you know, shit's just fine. Like, maybe shit is okay now, but there's going to be more people that's going to become inspired in some way, whether it's through his book, his comic book, whether it's through, you know, other people that have lived through it to watch and seen it, you know, on the underground, anybody. And I like the realism there from Horikoshi. I commend him more and more as the series went by, because I didn't think he was going to be that kind of mangaka, because there was other times where I felt like he kind of strayed away from trying to, you know, do something kind of controversial or get like real, like very real. But I'm noticing it a lot, especially with the conclusion of the final arc and this epilogue. It's been good, man. All right, my boy Tsukachi, he all shaved up and stuff. He look a lot better now. All Might's in a wheelchair. Welcome back, young Midoriya. Did you manage to tell him everything? Yes. How about what happened to Chisaki? Oh, so you visited Chisaki too? Oh, shit. Oh, the grandpa. Gramps woke up, huh? You look terrible, Chisaki. Pops, I thought you were still sleeping. Due to your quirk, right? Fortunately for me, support items are getting better by the day. Oh, and I'm not the boss anymore. The organization is over. Pops, you strayed away from the path of humanity. That's the result. And to think I kept reaching out to you, but you still chose to do things this way. I guess Kurono was too soft on you. Wow. I'm sorry, Pops. Look at him. All that regret and guilt, nigga. Too late for that. You should be apologizing to Eri for the rest of your life. She'll eventually forget about you, but you can't forget what you did to her. No need to worry. I'll be here chewing you out until the day I die. Wow. That's, once again, what I was just saying a few minutes ago about the realness. I love that Horikoshi just taking this route, man. Yes, this nigga got to atone for his sins of doing what he did to that little girl and to the grandfather. And he's like, yeah, she can forget about you. She will. She gonna grow older and forget about you. But nigga, you will never forget. That's the thing that you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. That's the hell and the torment in your mind that you gotta deal with. I fuck with that. Thank you so much, Tsukachi-san. No worries, that was better than making every time relive her trauma. How can we prevent these things from happening? We can't. It's the realism, we can't. Unless Hawks somehow multiplies the number of heroes. What? Hawks has the power to do that? It's a joke. Brighten up that mood. The new first years are starting school today. You can't show up with a long face. But the hero course doesn't have many extracurricular activities, so I don't think I'll be seeing them very often. Yeah, Todoroki senpai, Dynamite senpai. Can I have your number, please? I'm a big fan. Can I get a picture? You're so cool. What's going on? They should all get expelled. New first years run. New first years run. Class 2A, 3 chapters until the conclusion. I really wish we had like 10 chapters all together, so we would have had like what, 6 more or something like that. First years were nuts. We got a break next week. All right, so I wonder how this chapter gonna go. Probably gonna focus on them inspiring the new first years, and then probably gonna have a little time skip maybe. Actually, no, I do need one more thing. It's with Ochako, her follow up with her and the Toga situation, how she feels about it. I want her to talk to Deku, you know, do that little thing, get their relationship going, then have probably like a time skip for the end. I wish he could make the last chapter long. Maybe he can. They should let him make the last chapter like 30 pages or something like that. But nonetheless, man, this is a good chapter. I love that everybody takes accountability for what their actions. Everybody, like even Deku himself, like he killed Shigaraki. That's something that he didn't want to do, but he still killed him. And he was like, yeah, I killed your boy. Like, you know, I got to deal with that. I ain't denying that. I like that, you know. I'm not saying that Deku deserves to be blamed to killing somebody, but it's more so just on the psyche. Like, that's something that he did and he has to live with as well. You could tell that he's kind of, he's dealing with it a certain way, you know. But I love the realness, man. This is the whole point when it comes to My Hero. Like, it's not all about the fights and the interactions and all that. It's really about saving people. Who's a hero, who's not a hero. It just depends on the person. To Spinner, Shigaraki is a hero. To other people, Shigaraki is the villain, you know? And I like that Deku, he's like, he keeps thinking, like, how can this shit change? Like, this shit just won't ever change, huh? But, like, at the same time with Deku, his whole thing is, like, if I'm there, I can save somebody. Of course, he wasn't there for Shigaraki back then. He probably wasn't even born yet at that point, you know, when all that stuff happened to Shigaraki. So, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, shit just kind of happened, right? But this is a good chapter. I can't wait. So we got break week once again, but I don't mind it. Let's extend, you know, the wait until My Hero's over. And you know how Horikoshi does. He corresponds a chapter with what's going on in the anime. So I wonder what the last chapter, I wonder what in the anime is going to happen by then. I'm not sure. Since we have a break week, so it's going to be like, well, we got like a month, just about a month, maybe a little over a month, like a month and a week until the series is over. And by then, I believe in the anime, what will we get to? Like All For One rewinding, like at least around there. Probably past that. Probably going to be the shoji stuff, probably. But yeah, man, let me know down below what you guys thought about this chapter and my reaction, all that good stuff. And I hope to see you guys next week for the next chapter of My Hero Academia. So I'll see you guys all in the next video. Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean. See you guys all then, and peace.